And we're sick of the world blaming Americans and Americana for what you globalist scumbags that are the antithesis of what made this country so great. That's what Putin said at the end of his letter. He said, all men are created equal. America has been great. But now you're becoming very, very corrupt and dangerous. And the world doesn't like what you're doing, and your own people don't like you're doing, and you're not exceptional to be above the law to commit war crimes and fund al-Qaeda. And all of these, Senator Mendez with all his scandals, has the nerve. You know about his scandals, folks? I'm not going to get into them on air. They're so amazing. That blob just looks like a... I would not want to hang out with him. I would want to have dinner with him. I wouldn't want him as my neighbor. I wouldn't want John McCain as my neighbor. These are creeps, creepy weirdos, creepy scumbags with a trail of evil, cheating 5, bid rigging, stock market fixing. I mean, just look at these people. You know, they go to the Senate worth $1 million, they're worth 300, 400 million. You go to the House worth $50,000, you're worth 20 million in 5 years. I mean, they are just robbing us wholesale. And now Harry Reid's really freaking out. He's not up there like he said yesterday. In fact, if you guys don't have this. No, we do have it. He called them, the Tea Partiers are nonviolent anarchists who don't believe in any form of government. We have the biggest government in the world. We're already bankrupt. It's growing exponentially, minute by minute. And they have the nerve to get up there and say that the Tea Party is running the country, which is true, and that we're Neanderthal, barbarian, scum, racist, obstructionist. That's the real Tea Party. Remember they said the Tea Party has no power, the Tea Party's a joke, the Republican blue bloods tried to co-opt it, didn't successfully do it. Karl Rove spends all his time trying to steer it or kill it. It's disgusting. And now Harry Reid has come out and said they're dangerous anarchists, and others have said they're barbarians, they're racist. But he says in there that we're running the agenda. The Ron Paul, Alex Jones, Drudge Report, Infowars type libertarianism. That's why Beck suddenly has jumped fully into libertarian camp, anti-New World Order. Sounds like Alex Jones show. Hallelujah, we've won. Rush Limbaugh, looks like a false flag. You see, we're taking over, folks. That's Americana. Don't let the globalists speak for you. So you notice they're saying, Putin has defeated America. Putin has made America look bad. Putin has outmaneuvered America. To go, well, I don't like Obama, but I don't like Putin outmaneuvering America. Putin didn't outmaneuver America. He called that the emperor was wearing no clothes. He called shenanigans. He called fraud. And guess what? It isn't Putin stealing $4 or $5 trillion of taxpayer money a year to give to foreign offshore megabanks. Putin kicked the oligarchs out of his country and arrested those he couldn't kick out. Oh, you work for the Rothschilds or Rockefellers? You own half the Russia? We're just going to, you did it through fraud back in the 1920s? How about we clap handcuffs on you? Same thing Iceland's doing. Again, I'm not moving to Iceland, but I'm a fan of what they've done. I'm a fan of what the Russians have been doing. My goodness, we have globalists. The headline should be, Putin stands up against America's occupiers. Putin stands up against banking cartel that's hijacked America. We ought to be allied with Russia under free market and liberty. They ought to be our biggest trading partner. Russia's relaxing their gun laws. Russia's paying people to have kids. Russia's trying to have family values. We're doing the opposite because Russia's already been through hell. They've already been through the tyranny. You know, they say that's always the greatest areas of liberty are places that have been under the tyranny the longest. A smart man, said that Cuba and China and places like that have been under hellish tyranny, they're going to be the sanctums of liberty because that's how the cycle works. We are a big, giant, rotting, evil empire. We need to disavow it and say it's not us, it's not America, we don't want it on us. We rebuke it, we refuse it. You eat some bad food, you start feeling sick. I've gotten food poisoning with friends before, back in college at a restaurant. I felt sick, it tasted weird after like 5 bites. I felt weird, tasted metally. I went, threw up, didn't get sick, they all got food poisoning. One of my friends had to go to the hospital over it. At a Mexican food restaurant. Because the bacteria release toxins of those type that give you the food poisoning. I was like, this doesn't taste right. It tastes, I had like a psychosomatic response. I think I pulled over driving home and threw up on the side of the road. I don't remember the whole story. The point is, everybody else was deathly ill the next day. My college buddies. Deathly ill. And we need to vomit out Dianne Feinstein and Kerry and Obama and Karl Rove and the Bushes and all the kleptocrats and just come on. We need to have dry heaves and just vomit and vomit and vomit until bile starts coming out. And then vomit some more, and then vomit some more, and then vomit and vomit and vomit and vomit and go through a fever and get this disease out of us, ladies and gentlemen. That's what we need to do. We need to rebuke it, and we need to put ourselves before God and repent immediately, all of us, because we're going into darkness, and God's giving us a chance as the whole world wakes up and we see the evil revealed to say no to it, to recognize it and say no. If not, we go over the edge of the cliff. They take over. Red Terror, secret arrest, FEMA camps. America's getting a chance here, ladies and gentlemen. Just like when Jonah, got to Nineveh and went around for 10 days warning people, and you know what? They listened. They listened, and they were given a 100-year reprieve before they became a decadent again and were destroyed. Just like Jerusalem in 70 A.D. Christ said, before this generation is past, not one of these stones will be left unturned. This whole place will be destroyed, he told the head Pharisee. And the arrogant Pharisee laughed at him. And in 70 A.D., Titus sacked and burned Jerusalem to the ground. And I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, we're done. We're done if we don't really realize we've been poisoned and get our stomachs pumped right now. Oh, Putin's putting down America. Putin's not saying you're exceptional. He says you've been exceptional. We want to be friends with you, but you're being exceptionally evil right now, and you don't have a right to be above the law. Stop it right now. Folks, the West started the war on record against Syria. It's a war crime. And to watch the war criminals that are behind it all, grandstanding and prancing around, and Christina Amanpour doing horrible acting of how emotional she is, and we shouldn't have let Rwanda happen like that, and Samantha Powers. These are big, wicked, witch queen bees, ladies and gentlemen, who are all about their power. I thought when the women ran the world, there wasn't going to be any war. It's 3 women running the whole show for this war, ladies and gentlemen. You look at Kerry, he can barely stand up. It's so evil. He's shaking during the testimonies and has to almost put his head down. I mean, the demonic load is so heavy. And you look at these women, they are just absolutely aroused by what they're doing. I mean, I look at these women, they're animated by narcissistic sexual energy, and it makes me want to throw up. Mendez, you want to throw up reading Putin's letter? I think it's a beautiful, heartfelt, reaching out letter. Whether it's cynically done, doesn't matter. The words are very strong and true. You, on the other hand, are a coven of black magic witches. I call you out. Let's go to a real murderer, Madeleine Albright, who helped intensify the sanctions on an industrialized country at that time to kill 500,000 kids. Some numbers are 1 million dead kids now. This was said a decade ago. Here it is.
We have heard that 500,000 children have died. I mean, that's more children than died in Hiroshima. And is the price worth it?
I think this is a very hard choice, but we think the price is worth it.
And by the way, that's the short clip. If you find the long clip from 60 Minutes, she also said it on NBC, not just CBS, she goes on to say, for security in the Gulf region, and that we should keep the sanctions on. Like, try to find the full clip. I want to play the full bouquet, the full palette of evil. Because, ladies and gentlemen, then I watch Christina Amanpour, and you look at Albright with the power trip in her eyes. I've seen these people, when they talk about this stuff, they get animated. They know what they're doing, they like it, and they know every Christian in Syria is going to have their head chopped off by Al-Qaeda. They love it. They love it.
Now you can watch The Alex Jones Show live as it happens at Infowars.com/show.
You'll find links to all of our content there and a free 15-day trial for Prison Planet TV.
More than 60 movies and documentaries all in one place at Infowars.com/show.
Americana for what you globalist scumbags that are the antithesis of what made this country so great. That's what Putin said at the end of his letter. He said, all men are created equal. America has been great. But But now you're becoming very, very corrupt and dangerous. And the world doesn't like what you're doing, and your own people don't. They go to the Senate worth $1 million, they're worth 300, 400 million. You go to the House worth $50,000, you're worth 20 million in 5 years. I mean, they are just robbing us wholesale. And now Harry Reid's really freaking out. He's not up there like he said yesterday. In fact, if you guys don't have this. No, we do have it. He called what like you're doing, and you're not exceptional to be above the law to commit war crimes and fund Al-Qaeda. And all of these, the Senator Mendez with all his scandals has the nerve. You know about his scandals, folks? I'm not going to get into them on air. They're so amazing. That blob just looks like I would not want to hang out with him. I wouldn't want to have dinner with him. I wouldn't want him as my neighbor. I wouldn't want John McCain as my neighbor. These are creeps, creepy weirdos, creepy scumbags with a trail of evil, Keating 5, bid rigging, stock market fixing. Just look at these people. You know. And we're sick of the world blaming Americans and America.